So I just recently picked up this little Com-Pac 16 here. This is a 1987 to replace that one that I just sold. And somebody has painted the cove stripe green over that brown gel coat from the factory. And it's not that I don't like the green, but this, if you can see there, you know, the green paint is just about wore off, and you see in the brown shining through it. It's like that all the way around. It's just pretty faded and worn. The other side's even worse. So I think I'm gonna get some paint remover and see if I can't get that off and get it back to that brown gel coat, at least for a starting point. I may decide to paint it again, but this is too rough and chalky and too uneven where it's, you know, so much of it is gone. I would have to sand it back down to the gel coat anyway to get something smooth enough to paint. So I think I'm gonna just take it back to the gel coat. Some people don't like the brown. I honestly don't have a problem with it. So, but the boat itself is in great shape. Needs very little. Just scraping some cheap plastic around the boat to keep that paint remover off of the rest of the boat. Okay, that'll keep things kind of halfway clean. I'm going to take the rub rail here off. I'm going to just pop it off. I've got to redo this seam, this whole deck joint anyway. I know it's leaking. But the sun's shining on it this morning on this side, so it comes off pretty easy on this side. But I'm not going to take it all the way off. I'm going to pop it loose like that, and then I'm going to just drape it up here above it to keep it out of the way for the time being, like that. And that gets it out of the way. Now I can clean all the way up to that corner there, that inside corner there. It looks like somebody has tried to repair this halted deck joint before, because there's some kind of black caulking in it, and then this black tape on top of the old, well, it looks like it's black duct tape or some type of tape, but they originally used white duct tape, and the adhesive caulking that they used was white. So I know that this black is where it's been redone. So I am using, this is a Jasco. This is just from a local big box store. Paint remover. I've tried some of the other ones, and honestly I couldn't tell that they really worked a whole lot better. About the same. So I've got to take off my numbers up here, get that off. supposed to brush this stuff in one direction only. It's on pretty thick. Okay, and then wait 15 minutes or so and then scrape it off with a plastic scraper. And I've always found that it takes 3 or 4 applications instead of one. No matter what brand I use, one application has never gotten it off. Well, it is starting to do a little something. It seems to be working better where the stickers were at than not. But I can just about guarantee it's going to take at least one more coating. It hadn't been quite 15 minutes. It's a little bit breezy, so it's starting to dry out. So you don't want this stuff to dry if you can help it. It's hard to get it off when it dries. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put another application on it and work it a little bit faster than that. You can also cover it up to slow down the evaporation, which may be what I end up needing to do. Okay, so that's the second application. It's not terrible. I mean, it's getting there. You know, it's getting there. You can see there. It's doing a little better. Okay, this is the third application, and I'm using my razor blade scraper here, mechanic scraper, very carefully and very shallow, and that's getting, looks like getting the bulk of it, or getting the rest of it off. There may still be some shadows here and there, but that'll come off with the wet sanding. But once I get all this off to this point, then I'll wash it down really good. You know, scrub it down good to neutralize that stuff. Rinse my plastic off good for using it on the other side. And then I will eventually come back and wet sand this out and make it look good. Maybe wet sand the top sides of the boat to make it look good. Because the brown gel coat really doesn't look that bad as far as the condition of it, I guess you could say. And I'm really, you know, I'm good with the brown. I don't mind it. Some people don't like it. But that is doing better than the plastic scraper. But boy, you have to be careful not to scratch your gel coat. But that's getting up under it. I may put a fourth application on it anyway, just to maybe help get rid of some of those little green shadows that's kind of still there. But for the most part, it's coming off really good. Like I said, that was the third application. And I'm working it pretty wet now rather than waiting. You wait and the wind dries it out, then it just kind of like it resets and then you can't get it off. And can't really tell because it's kind of splotchy from being a bit wet from the chemicals, but actually that got it off. That got it off. I'll get through with this side and then I'll wash it down real good with the water hose. Yeah, the mechanic scraper works so much better than the plastic scraper, but you just have to be real careful. And there it is, cleaned, wiped down with some mineral spirits. So it's still just a little bit shiny because it's wet, but it actually looks good though. It cleaned up decent. That's the original factory brown gel coat there.